That no connections, I wanna go somewhere far. I got 1,000 things I wanna say, but each one comes out the wrong way. I wanna hold you, wanna squeeze you tight. The chances are we won't make it through the night. I will ride my bike in the sand with the stars, thinking the day we're someplace far. But where I am is now, where your miles are lying down, thinking of you. Tell me everything, tell me all your secrets. I wanna know what makes you sick. If you're the bomb going off in my arms, and I don't wanna hear you tick. And tell me everything, tell me all your secrets. I wanna know what makes you sick. If you're the bomb going off in my arms, and I don't wanna hear you tick. I want you to take a stance. And I want this to distance. And I want to be destroyed. 'Cause slow pain, it's so much worse to be ignored. I wanna make love like it's the first time, only with you and every day. I wanna feel so small and weak. I want nothing to be the same.
Transition that over and promptly close that window or minimize that window so I don't have to look at it because our internet is still having problems despite the fact that we've gone through
Yeah.
how many iterations of fixing now? We've rebooted the router, modem / router.
Yep.
You called them
Send-
once and to no avail, nothing happened.
Yep. And then the second time I actually got someone who was actually a technician.
Yeah.
And
And
they
then
reset our, what is it before the modem? Our fiber hub.
junction
Yeah.
junction box.
Yeah.
Reset that, and now it's worse than it was like last week.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So, like, for some reason, I was like, maybe I'm overreacting last week because it got better and like we were able to stream again and there wasn't any problems with it and there was nothing going, like, it wasn't bad or anything like that. And then, like, am I overreacting? Am I making a big deal out of this? Is it just that we needed to reboot it or something like that? Turns out the answer is no. I was not overreacting. Our shit's fucking broke,
Yeah, well.
and it needs like.
Yep, that's the next step.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. I wish internet providers would like. I understand why technicians have to go through the
Step by step.
step by step of like, have you done this step? Have you turned it off and on again? Have you done this? Have you done that? Blah blah blah. That kind of thing. I used to go through this shit with Comcast all the time. So, quickly, we're clinically inane. We are a nerdy podcast out of Seattle
With lousy internet.
with lousy internet. I'm Curtis. That's Boyd. We're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about my Comcast problems real quick.
All right.
Our internet problems. So I had problems with. All of a sudden, my internet wasn't working. It was like I was paying for 100 megabits a second, kind of thing.
Yep.
And it was going like 10 and lower, and like at one point it was like down to 3. So I called him. I was like, "Hey guys, what's up? Why is this happening?" And they're like, "Oh, your router box is just old. You just need a new one.
Yeah.
So come into the office and just swap it out." It's like, but it took 4 days to get there. It was, I called them and it was, "Have you tried turning it off and on again?" "Yes." "Okay, we're going to try remoting into it." We can't remote into it for some reason because it's fucking old.
Yeah.
And then we finally got to like, well, this is what I have. This is what I've done.
Mm.
I've literally done everything that you just made me walk through again, and it didn't work. And then they were like, oh, you just need a new one. Like, no shit. And then I went and got a new one.
And it worked fine?
No. I went and got a new one, and then that new one didn't work at all. I plugged it in.
Quote unquote new one.
Yeah. I went in and I plugged it in, and it didn't work. And I was like, well, I called them again. It's like, hey guys, the new one you gave me just isn't working either. And they're like, oh, well, it turns out that we need to remote activate it. So you had to go home and then call us. I was like, why? Why?
Yeah.
And so I did that, and then they're like, cool, we're going to remote activate it. Cool, it's activated. All right, let us know if it's working. Nope. They'd given me a
Faulty one.
faulty one. So I had to go back down.
Especially when you're renting them, they don't bother giving you a new one. They just grab whatever's on the pile.
Yeah. And so I went back in and I was like, hey, shit don't work. Give me a new one.
Mm.
And then I had to get them to remote in and activate that one too. So basically this should have taken one phone call of me going, hey, this is broken. Fix it. They go, oh, well, it turns out you just have an older model. You need to replace it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go pick up the older model, bring it home and plug it in. That's what it should have been.
Yeah.
Instead, it took 6 days.
My old internet their only text port was via chat.
Yeah.
Think about it for diagnosing the internet.
Yeah. It's problematic.
Yeah.
It's problematic at best. Yeah, this one is...
It's like calling your cell phone company your cell phone because there's a problem with your cell phone. Like,
yeah, right. I have problems. I have issues with companies when they're... well, I have issues with tech things. Like I said, I understand why they make us go through step-by-step process. Like, have you done this? Have you done this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to... What annoys the piss out of me is when I'm like, they go, have you done this? Yes. Okay, well, we're going to walk through it now. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I mean, with ours, I understand also why they're walking through it because we bought ours outright.
Yeah.
So we're not just leasing one. So I just have people being upset they had to buy a new one rather than just trying to fix the one they have.
Yeah. And so I...
Because, after 2 years, even if it is cheaper for us to buy a new one than to have leased for 2 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just need to fucking replace it. We don't even need like you already got a router.
Yeah, we just need a modem.
That's like the top notch fucking router out there right now. We just need a modem for it. So we don't even like the one that we got is the modem / router, which I diagnosed as the problem like from the jump.
Yeah,
and we just haven't.
That's probably the reason why I'd like to have a modem and a router, not a
modem router. Yeah. Router.
Yeah. A mouter?
I was about to say Rotom, and then I realized that's a Pokemon.
No. Having them separate is nice because, like...
The router goes bad, you can just replace the router.
Yeah, the modem goes
bad, you just replace the modem.
Yeah.
Like, it's... Like... It's the same thing as the copy printer scanner combo.
Yeah.
It's like... Which I have one, but that's because all you can get nowadays.
Well, you can sometimes find just a printer.
It's just a printer, yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like they just the entire concept of it. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh well, that seems nice. They're all gonna put into one. Then none of it works correctly.
Yeah, I mean, when I was selling computers, we had one guy come through and buy 10 printers because we had them on sale.
Mm-hmm.
Because the printers were cheaper than the ink replacements.
Yeah.
So he just bought 10 printers for the ink.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although it's a yes and no thing with that. Printers are cheaper than the ink replacements. Mm-hmm. However, the ink cartridges that come with printers have about half the ink of a normal cartridge replacement.
We had them on clearance. We're selling the printers for $20.
Oh yeah. I mean, still,
yeah.
Like
you know, still did the math. And
yeah. I mean, that is
like $60 for the ink cartridge, $20 for the new printer.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
He bought a stack of printers.
Mm-hmm.
He might still be going through those printers.
Yeah. Who knows? But yeah, it's just. I find it. I understand for the people who why they go through all these processes, especially for people like say my parents who are not tech
Yep.
savvy like you or I are.
I mean, one other time I called them, I'd already gone through like steps 1 through 5.
yeah.
So
Yeah. And did they make you walk through them again?
no. Well,
Okay.
the technician I got on my second call did not.
The customer service
The
person tried
customer
to.
service person the first time tried to.
Yeah.
The technician did not.
Yeah. See, and that's again, that's the benefit of getting a technician.
Mm-hmm.
Like, listen, I've already gone through steps 1 through 5. Like,
Yeah.
that's all been done. We can move on to the next thing.
Yep.
Like, the next thing is you tell me what else there is to do.
Yeah. And so what they did is they reset the junction box.
Yeah.
Which only they can do remotely. So
Which needed to be done anyway, apparently.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's just frustrating, you know?
Yeah.
It's just frustrating when it's like, we're fucking paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well just get a fucking rebate for the last month because our internet has been fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Like, it's it's rough when we're paying for the fucking fiber. We're on the fiber plan, and we're getting 5 megabits per second.
We're getting fiber like a third of the time.
Yeah,
The other third we're not getting, and another third we're getting something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get the it's when we're on a fiber fucking connection, and my internet has problems running a YouTube video at 480p.
Well, I think part of the challenge is like most places, if you get like a third at full speed, a third at half speed, and a third at no speed, it's like over the course of a month.
Yeah.
Us, that's over the course of a second
Yeah, so that's like that happens within a 10-minute span.
or 3 seconds.
Yeah, it's just wildly inconsistent. Yeah, this is all like, we're complaining about fucking internet shit, but it's the world we live in.
It is.
It's
My movie streaming I was watching this morning worked.
yeah, see, and that's the thing is that
But those buffer nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also I was watching stuff in my room.
Yeah.
I am the closest person to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
With like the correct Wi-Fi connection, everything
Mm-hmm.
in my room, it like hit a load screen.
Which is weird because
Like,
in my office upstairs, which is the farthest point from it,
yeah,
I was streaming fine.
yeah. So
I was surfing the internet and streaming, and
yeah, and like I've literally watched it like drop out on my phone. Like I told you, I watched it just go like connected, not connected, sign in, connected, not connected, sign in.
is your
connected.
streaming on the 2.4 or the 5?
It is stream. I tried on both,
Okay.
and both of them hit load screens.
Because right now my computer's just on the 2.4.
Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay.
The answer is it does not
Yep.
matter. It's just yeah, it's frustrating.
I did watch a new movie this morning though.
What's that?
What undesirable? No, I'm not undesirable. Undercover 6.
6 Underground,
6 Underground.
the new Michael Bay movie
Yes.
with Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
How is it?
Do you like Michael Bay movies?
No.
Then you'll hate it.
Great, cool.
It is they advertise as the Michael Bay latest movie, and it's pretty much there.
The most Michael Bay movie that ever Michael
You know
made.
how there's certain artists where you give them new intellectual property,
Yeah,
they go very airhouse on it, make something that is truly defining of them.
yeah. Michael Bay did that.
Yeah. Also, that man really loves like the sparkler explosions.
Yeah.
He's like
The-
J.J.
the-
Abrams.
The explosions,
Yeah, he's got those like J.J. Abrams has
lens flare.
Like in the most ridiculous, like there's a car chase in the beginning, and like I think they hit like a fruit vendor at one point,
Really?
and the vendor gives off sparks.
Like, dude, like Michael Bay needs to sit down.
I mean, I do respect the man in that when he's talked about making these films, he's well aware of what he's making.
Yeah, I don't respect the man because he's an awful person.
That's fair. I
But
can at least respect that he acknowledges what he's making.
it's true.
He doesn't claim to be making these
Highbrow,
genre-defining.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess he is kind of.
he is making genre defining. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad action movies. That's his genre.
So it exists. It's a movie.
Yeah, it's the Michael Bay. Like I always think it's funny. It's the Michael Bay Transformers movies. One of the comments that I've seen, it's like it's interesting that they gave this movie to somebody who so clearly hates the source material.
I mean, this movie is Michael Bay making a Michael Bay movie with Ryan Reynolds mostly doing the Ryan Reynolds snark and leading the team through every action trope.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Ryan Reynolds have an aviation gin ad in the movie?
Not that I've seen yet.
He might be drinking aviation gin at one point.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But, like, even the characters are numbered and stereotyped.
Because his Ryan Reynolds did a Samsung ad, like a Samsung TV ad, where it was like showing off the new Samsung TV and showing like clips from Six Underground on
I
it,
saw that
being
one.
like, yeah, it's the only way to watch is on this high definition, and then it cuts like midway between that into an aviation gin ad.
I mean,
Because he bought an ad within his own ad.
I appreciate the man for doing that.
Yeah. So Samsung bought out all the ads on his IMDb page.
Yeah.
They're like, you're going to buy an ad within our ad? We're just going to buy all the ads on your IMDb page.
It's a wonderful little...
It's great. It's great cross-marketing synergy from a marketing standpoint. But
yeah, so it exists. It's a movie.
It's a movie that exists.
It's got a good soundtrack, though.
I mean, that makes sense.
That's what I can say positive. It's got a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
If you like watching Ryan Reynolds run away from sparklers. Basically.
We did see another movie this week, too, on Tuesday.
Oh, we did. It's been a long week.
It's been a very long week.
I got a whole 2.5 hours of sleep last night.
Wow, impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah. On Tuesday we went to the Jay and Silent Bob Reboot Roadshow.
Yes.
Which was funny when I was like, because I bought tickets to it a while ago, and I always knew, I bought 2 tickets knowing that somebody would go with me. I wasn't sure who it would be, and like I was like, "Boy, do you want to go?" And he's like, "You want to go to Jay and Silent Bob?" He's like, "Yeah."
I mean,
And then I was like, "Yeah." So it's gonna be like a couple days later. It's like, "Yeah, they're gonna show the movie, and then it's gonna be the Kev Q&A." And Boyd goes, "Oh, we're seeing the movie?"
I mean, you could have said, "Hey, do you want to go see Jay and Silent Bob Reboot and watch the movie there?" I would have said yes. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go see Jay and Silent Bob Reboot tour? Yes. Do you want to go see Jay and Silent Bob? Yes. Do you want to go? Yes. I'm usually pretty down to go to things.
Yeah. Do you want to go? Yes, to the Teletubby on Ice experience.
Yes. Bowling.
Yeah,
We're going bowling.
We're going bowling.
Teletubby bowling.
Telebowling. Yeah, no, it was an interesting experience, as most Kevin. This is the first time you've gone to one of Kev's Q&As, though. I don't think you've come with me to any of the others.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like a random Q&A by directors have been there. I don't think there's a Kevin Smith in there.
Yeah, no, Stephen Merchant's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joss Whedon.
Joss.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no Kev.
Colin Johnson.
Colin Johnson. It's a friend of ours. But
From college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so first of all, can we talk about that dude? The dude in the line.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, here's the thing.
We had a wonderful story arc that night.
We are the more I think about it, the more I'm still angry at the end.
So let's start with the story. Let's start at the beginning of the story.
The beginning of the story is we get there. I drop off Boyd to go jump in line while I find parking. Find parking, show up about 5 minutes later, and Boyd's in line. It was maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Till I was able to park and walk over there. I get up there. We stand in line, and all of a sudden, I don't hear speaking. I hear yelling, and it is coming from three people back behind us. Count them 1, 2, 3 to that group.
Yeah, because it was us, a group of 3, that group.
Yeah,
which was a father-son team.
Yeah, and the son was his speaking voice was yelling,
which according to his father, he is quote unquote, and I'm putting the quote unquote in there intentionally, a stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian.
Yes.
Yeah. He's 100. He was.
I suspect he's got the stand-up part. I'm not sure about the comedian.
Yeah, he is 100% that guy who just yells his opinions over everyone. Doesn't have actual like delivery or timing. He just yells it.
Yep.
Because based on literally just sitting there in line, he first of all was retelling all of Kev's stories
To the people behind us.
to the people behind us
who didn't know him.
yeah, who
prior to
didn't know
this.
him. Yeah, so he's telling all
I
these.
heard him introduce him. His dad introduced him and himself like halfway through.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like if we were at just some random thing, and like if we were at say Comic-Con and we were in line for a panel, and somebody was like, "Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure about what this is,
Yeah.
but like I'm interested to go check it out just because it may have caught my interest." Then telling some of the stories, some interesting fun facts, except like totally cool.
Yeah.
We're at a fucking Kevin Smith show. We are there to see Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And
We were at a show where people paid extra to see Jay and Silent Bob. Some
Reboot.
people paid over $100.
Yes. And it is to see the movie because of the Q&A with Kev afterward. And so it is a niche market. There's a very specific crowd of people there.
There's about 2 nights theaters worth of them in Seattle.
Weird.
It's like,
And there's probably more that either couldn't afford or they sold out then too.
or just weren't aware until too late.
Yep.
Hello.
Yes. That is point.
Yeah.
You benefited off my proactiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
go to a lot of shows. A lot of people want to go to shows and taking me with them.
yeah. But so we're at a Kevin Smith show for a very niche Kevin Smith movie that people are paying a lot of money to see Kevin Smith.
Again, it's in Kevin Smith's niche of his little universe he's created.
Yes.
It's not like we're going to see Kevin Smith Q&A at some Blockbuster or something Shakespearean.
Yeah, no. We're not seeing, and we're not going to, it's not some sort of Paley Center event where it's a Q&A with a cast from a show and Kevin Smith is the moderator.
Yeah, we are going to watch Kevin Smith's inside joke movie with a Q&A with Kevin Smith.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. The only people who are there are people who are Kevin Smith fans.
Yes.
Why are you retelling Kev's stories, which I've listened to enough podcasts to know that they were word for fucking word, retelling Kevin Smith stories and claiming them almost as like your own fun fact that only you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people in line, I could tell they were just kind of being like, yeah, and being polite.
And just oh God, I hope we're not sitting near him.
Right. And it took until like, thankfully the thing is we were in line for less than 10 minutes after I got there.
All it was, it felt so much longer.
Right. It was like, I looked at the time, like I got in line at like 6:55. Doors opened at like 7:01.
Okay.
It was like we were moving at 7:01. And it was just obscene. It felt like it took fucking forever. And the thing that was also killing me is other people would try to talk, to try to interject an opinion, including his own father. And instead of stopping and listening and then either being part of the conversation, acknowledging, being part of the conversation, making eye contact. Instead, I noticed he did this thing. He talked to everyone like this, which means he's not actually looking at anybody
Or listening.
He's just talking. And somebody would try to be like, yeah, well, yeah, and you know that blah, and then he would yell over them for his next sentence, and like including to his own father, which, you know, I understand some people have some issues with volume control. That can be me at times, but
I understand.
Yeah. What? We're gonna talk the rest of the podcast like this? No, we're not.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NPR. No, that's the reason I can't listen to NPR. They're like train them to talk annoyingly. But like it's relaxing. No, it's not. It's frustrating.
I mean, I guess it's relaxing if you just want weird whispery sounds while you go to sleep.
they don't whisper. They talk. They don't whisper. They talk like this, and they have a cadence to their voice.
And they just keep talking.
When they talk, they take breaks.
It's like an unenthusiastic William Shatner.
Yeah, it drives me fucking insane. I cannot take it. But
Is NPR Stone Shatner?
but yeah, so this guy didn't listen.
Yeah.
He wouldn't listen at all, and it was driving me fucking insane. And I'm not a guy I don't like to rock the boat, especially if people are there to have fun.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, hey, shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But I was I get the feeling if I would have been in line for much longer, it would have been me turning around going, dude, I need you to take it back. You're at an 11. I need you to be at like a 3. You are loud, abrasive, and everyone knows these stories already.
Feel the room.
Like, read the room, dude.
Or the sidewalk. In this
If
case.
you're a fucking comedian, you should know how to read the goddamn room. And right now, you're not doing it.
Come on, read the sidewalk.
Yeah. Why don't you go play out on the little yellow line?
We already have someone up front yelling about religion on the street corner. We don't need you back in the back
Yeah.
yelling about everything else.
Yeah. And so we get into the movie, and
The movie's good.
the movie's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a sec. We get into the movie, and you know how when somebody comes out on stage, or whether it's Kevin J did an intro, and then they did the Q&A at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how there's always that guy in the audience who yells because they think they're helping the person on stage?
Yep.
It was that fucking guy.
I mean, the only upside to that is then you at least know he's not next to you for the movie.
No, he was dead center in the middle of the mezzanine first row.
Yeah. Balcony. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the mezzanine, same thing. But
Now it's like fancy words.
but like I was like, wow, there's somebody like, because Kev came out and I heard something inaudible but loud, and Kevin, to his credit, has gotten pretty good at ignoring people.
He's done a few of these before.
Yeah, like somebody sneezes and he goes, "God bless you," but like if somebody yells something at him, I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Somebody sneezed, and somebody will sneeze, and if he can see him, he'll say, "Bless you."
Yeah.
But like, this guy is up in the thing, and he would like yell stuff out, and Kev just, which to his credit, it's great.
He's had much time to practice that.
Yeah. Admittedly, I'm also one of those guys, no matter how much time I had to practice that, if somebody was just like yelling stuff out, I'd be like, can you shut the fuck up? Like, I don't care if you're a fan of mine, if you decide not to be a fan of mine after this. Like, it does not matter to me. I want everyone else who's here to have a good time, and you being loud and disruptive because you need your own fucking special attention does not, like, don't do that.
I see. I think
It ruins it for everyone else.
I say you go more subtle.
Have security come tap them on the shoulder and escort them out.
You don't acknowledge them, but your ushers do.
No, I like to publicly shame people.
I don't like to give them attention.
Yeah. I will gladly. I'm also one of those people who, like, if I were on stage and somebody was heckling, I'd be dude, shut the fuck up. You're literally ruining stuff for everyone else. Like,
Yeah.
I actually have been the guy in the audience before where somebody kept like yelling stuff out. It was at like a comedy show, and I was sitting like 2 seats away from him, and I just turned and looked at him and went, "Shut the fuck up, dude." I think it was at a Titus show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And this dude got like drunk and like wasn't understanding Titus's stand up because it was intelligent. And
This guy didn't even seem drunk.
yeah, no, he was just obnoxious.
Yeah.
And then we get to the end, and he asks a question, and of course he like makes it all about him before he asks a question. And in in theory, it would have been a good question, but what annoys me is it's not a good question for the event.
That's fair.
It would have been a good question for like a standard Kev Q&A,
Yeah.
because it was he asked if they could share any George Carlin stories.
Yeah,
Which is a good.
it is.
It's a decent question. The 2-minute intro of his fucking life story to ask the question
Was unnecessary.
was unnecessary. Like, hey Kev, thanks for coming to Seattle. Big fan of you and George Carlin. Do you have any fun George Carlin stories?
Mm. Yeah.
That's it. The end. That took 30 seconds.
Yep.
This guy took almost 3 minutes.
I mean, what was the first question? Because the first question, Kev got on tangents and took like.
Oh,
40
it was,
minutes
is there anybody not in the movie that you wanted to be in the movie? Which led to, because he got all of his friends.
Yeah.
Which led to like, there are some people that were supposed to be in it and like got some. The thing is he answered like 5 questions.
I mean, that's the thing. Is that started there, and it started addressing.
It went like why Will Ferrell and Chris Rock weren't in it.
Yeah.
How Affleck got into it.
The directors who weren't in it, who
The
were
director.
the scene.
Yeah.
But then it gets Affleck reuniting with Jay.
Jay.
And
yeah.
then like realizing who Jay's become in the years that Jay's gotten sober, and like a whole narrative and thing.
Yeah.
I think they actually led into him talking about Jay being a better father than him.
Yeah. No, he answered like, the thing is he answered like 5 or 6 questions, and that he took him 45 minutes to
Yeah.
respond to that.
Like at one point, Jason Mewes is out there just dropping the time cards
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. He's dropping cards to let him know how long he's been answering the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40 minutes.
Which, I mean, it was almost a good podcast episode.
Yeah, it was. And the thing about it that was, well, the part about it that was funny too was at the end, Kev goes, "Was that the first question?" Jay goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Fuck." And then the thing I told you going into these, like I get frustrated at Kev's Q&As
Yeah.
because people come up and they ask him the same questions every time.
Yep.
Which is why I prefer his talks over his Q&As, because
I mean, this basically did evolve into just his talk.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
when like his what evolved into essentially him doing storytelling stand up, I preferred that over a Q&A,
That's fair.
because his Q&As over the years have evolved into being the same questions over and over again. And so it's like, yeah, dude, I've heard this story before.
Like, I mean, the first question, I understand where the questions come from with the movie.
Mhm.
And
The second I don't remember what the second question was. One of them was a woman going, "Are there going to be any Funko Pops for this?"
yeah, someone else asked if they were releasing the weed, which they are.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. That was a good question.
Yeah.
That is. It was. Are they going to? Because they're making, the company Caviar Gold is making the weed that
The strains that they have in the movie.
the 3 strains that they have in
Yeah.
the movie, and selling them. And it's a fair question because like while I don't partake, I know people that I would get those like as a gift for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not available in Washington yet. So
But that's the thing is, like, given the context of that show and the community and everything, it's a relevant question.
it's a very good
and the
question.
prevalent of those distinct items in the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like what kills me too is that nobody ever asked Jay questions,
Yeah.
and he wants to answer them.
Mm-hmm.
Kev will talk for forever, and I can see how like Jay put on a tour de force performance for Jay.
Yeah.
Like it's still like fucking Jay and Silent Bob. There's silliness. But then there's like a couple moments where you're like, fuck, Jay Mewes can actually act,
Oh,
man.
and I actually had a question for Jay on this one, but
Yeah,
never
and
got around to.
yeah, and I would have liked to have asked, hey, how does it feel for after all of these years of basically playing a version of your teenage self, to have Kev write a role for you where you get to have these serious, heartwarming, touching moments.
The phrase I'd go with it was, "Can I go from the jester to the king?"
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like how does that feel for you as an
Yeah.
actor?
Yeah.
As not as an actor, as Kev's friend, as like your
'Cause
career
It
arc.
might be a little spoilery, but that character evolves a lot in this movie.
Yeah, a lot, and like we're not used to like character evolution for Jay and Silent Bob. We're used to them being Jay and Silent Bob.
Yes.
And so when like that character evolution happens, I was like, well, shit, dude, like that's Jay puts on a great, gives a great performance. It's fantastic. And I wanted to ask Jay about that. And nobody asked anything. And the more and more I think about that question at the end, because it was the last question too, and then it was done.
Yeah.
Was the more and more I think about it, the more it makes me mad because it doesn't matter to it doesn't pertain to what we just saw.
Yeah.
Like George isn't in the movie.
George is on a t-shirt in the movie.
Yeah, George is on a t-shirt in the movie. Oh, one other person goes, was that Shecky, his dog?
Yeah.
Which was a great question. Like, simple question.
Yeah.
Was that Shecky? Yes, it was. That is a good eye.
And it was their MC for the tour who was watching Shecky in that.
Walking Shecky, yeah. Their tour manager.
Yeah.
Was the one walking Shecky, yeah. And but like...
Well, also, like, the shirt referencing Carlin is referencing Carlin, not Cardinal Glick.
Yes. Yeah, and there's a lot of things like... I don't know. It felt like... It felt... I don't like when the question doesn't pertain to what we're like there for. It's kind of like one of the rules that they've started making on the Fat Man Beyond podcast, because they do it live now at Scum and Villainy Cantina in LA.
Yeah,
and they do a Q&A at the end. And since it's Kev and Mark Bernardin, the questions have to pertain to both people. So you can't just walk up and ask Kev like, so when you were working on Clerks, and you can't come up and ask Mark like, hey, so when you we're writing this scene, like it has to pertain to both of them, which leads to a lot more interesting questions.
Yeah.
I am very thankful that nobody came up and was like, so when you did Clerks, how did you pay for it?
Even I know that story.
Like, I cannot tell you. I've been to 3 of Kev's Q&As. I've been to 3 of them. That question has been asked at every single one.
Sorry, there was literally just a squirrel outside the window.
Yeah, that question has been asked at every single one.
There's a question. I swear I was reading a lot of Kevin Smith stuff that it basically has the answer of, if you want to make something, just go and make it.
Yeah.
Variations on that answer I've heard. I don't even go to a lot of his stuff, and I've heard it multiple times. Which didn't come up this time, fortunately.
No, yeah. There's a great 10-minute clip on YouTube from one of his Q&As from 15 years ago, where he talks 15 years ago, where he talks about that.
Yeah,
and that's all you need. You can watch that clip.
Yep,
that's it. You're good. You don't need to do it again. But it's the one that got turned into that. The guy who does Zen pencils. Yeah. He took a piece from that and turned it into one of his pieces. But yeah, I get frustrated with it. It is always, and it's not just at Kev shows, it's at like a lot of stuff. I get frustrated at con Q&As just because people come up and they're like the Critical Role ones there, they come up and they're like, do you like D&D?
No.
Yeah, fucking really? Like, that's your question?
Or I'm imagining you also get things like a Critical One, like, how many takes did it take you to get the high noon correct?
Yeah. Oh no, the non Critical Role questions are strictly banned.
Good.
Brian comes out beforehand and is like, yeah, guys, I'm Fun Police. But you don't ask those questions. Just let's ask actual questions. Which actually, since Brian has started doing that, it's gotten significantly better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know, it's just frustrating,
Yeah.
Like I would much rather have a technical or related conversation with Kev and Jay than, or even talk or anything like that, than to listen to somebody be like, are there gonna be Funko Pops?
I mean, you also get the Q&As where, I mean, I guess they're more of the talks where there's a moderator asking the questions.
Yeah.
Funko fans.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
Yeah.
But Jay and Silent Bob Reboot, let's talk about the movie.
If you like Jay and Silent Bob, it's a great movie.
Yeah. Do you like Jay and Silent Bob? Are you a Kevin Smith fan?
If you don't
Because if you are not a Kevin Smith fan, you will understand nothing that is happening.
You'll understand the basics. But
Yeah, like there is a basic beginning, middle, and end to this story.
Yes.
But you'll like they show up and they're like people show up and there are these characters who show up and like everyone knows who these characters are. So if you haven't seen any of the other movies, if you don't know what's going on, there's references to other things. People are like, "What the fuck are you? Who is this? Why should I know who this person is?" Like, it is a movie full of that.
The View Askew universe and doing this movie be like a gluten-free vegan ordering a cheeseburger where they just remove the things they can't have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's some lettuce and a pickle.
Yeah, exactly. Some ketchup. But if you are a Kevin Smith fan, I mean, it's a love letter to Kevin Smith fans. It is. It's the like and he does take some pot shots at like current media.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it is absolutely a love letter to Kevin Smith fans. It's so many inside jokes on this thing, but at the same time, it doesn't feel masturbatory like some of the stuff like that in genre.
No, it doesn't.
Vein.
Yeah.
It is this is what I want to present to people, not this is what I'm great at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm making the movie that sounds fun.
Yes.
That's what it is.
And that can go wrong. I just watched Underground 6 this morning.
Yeah, 6 Underground. Yeah, that does.
Or whatever.
Yeah. But
Underground 6 or 6 Underground?
6 Underground. Trust me, I've seen the advertising for it.
Sorry, the title just clicked with the thing in the movie too.
But they now like so Jay gives a great performance.
Yeah.
Fucking Harley gives a great performance. Like she's really grown as an actor.
Yeah.
Like really, really grown as an actor. From like you and I have both you've seen Yoga Hosers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've both seen Yoga Hosers.
Oh no, Yo Hosers not seen, but I have seen Tusk.
Yeah, even from like her minor role, it's one of the Kathleen's in that. Too.
I swear I've seen her in something else too.
You have, but she didn't have any lines.
What did I see her?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's right.
She is one of the Manson girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she may have had lines, but they might have probably got cut. But she's like, she acts her ass off in this one. It's pretty great. It's everything from like she really is able to do the switch from like sweet and innocent type to like fucking hoodlum. It's great.
I also there's a great joke in it about her like they're making fun of Kevin Smith.
Because Kevin Smith is a character in this movie.
Yeah.
He's the one directing the Blunt Man and Chronic reboot.
And Harley's
Blunt Man v. Chronic.
Harley's character has a line of basically like, yeah, that fucker puts his daughter in all his movies.
Makes his daughter be in all his movies.
Yeah. Which the follow-up was during the Q&A, like they're asking, who's involved and early on. And he's like, yeah, basically when we started, it was myself, Jay, and Harley, because if she had to be if she still wanted a place to live.
Yeah. Yeah, because Harley still lives with Kev.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Harley fucking does work in this, and it's good.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
I mean, the whole little core cast is really good in it.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the little ensemble.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's self-aware, but in a fun way. I am looking forward to watching it again at home.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there are jokes that I've missed. Because it was seeing it live with that crowd it's a raucous.
And there's upsides and downsides. You get good laughter, but then if you have a 1-2 punch, you miss the second.
You miss
punch.
the second, and that's what I feel like we missed a lot of. Yeah,
I did catch Buddy Christ.
Yeah, on the dashboard
of
the car. Yeah. No, there's a lot of. I mean, and then there's like and God looks like just like Alanis Morissette. And everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like it's acknowledging that fucking Dogma happened, man.
Yeah,
it's great.
And really, Dogma didn't affect most people.
Yeah,
because it didn't.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's some really fun moments in it. That's silly. Fun, silly moments, and like, of course, you bring back a lot of characters like Banky Edwards.
Yeah.
Not Banky. Oh God, why am I spacing on Brody?
Yes.
Brody, Jason Lee's other character.
Yeah.
Banky was the one from Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Holden and Banky.
Yeah.
Holden was Affleck. Banky was
Which Holden's character in this movie.
yeah. So we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But like you get, you have Brody essentially doing the same thing he did in the last Jay and Silent Bob movie.
Mm-hmm.
With a little bit of extra, basically being like he's the guy who presents everything. One of the things I love is Justin Long is in it, and while you never get his character's name, he is 100% playing Brandon St. Randy, the gay porn star from that he played in Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Yeah.
He's the same character. He's playing the same character. He never introduces himself. He never gives his name. He's just the lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you know Brandon St. Randy, you're like, oh shit, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're just like,
Even if you don't, he's still a funny character.
he's a very deep voiced gay man,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And you get, people like Craig Robinson in a small role, and Joe Manganiello as the what are they called? Bailiff.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
There's a number of there's
a lot of people in small
There's
roles.
some big stars in really small roles that also I can think of one that gives away spoilers though. And
Which one?
I don't want to give away the spoiler.
What moment?
Don't want to give away the spoiler.
Yeah.
It is a big star in a role that references a role they played in something else. Towards the end.
Yep, totally. Yep. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Which
Which is a brilliant casting.
yeah, it is. So actually that is in the trailers.
Okay.
So we can discuss it.
Okay.
So Val Kilmer, that's who you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Val Kilmer is in it playing Blunt Man
Yeah.
in the Blunt Man v Chronic. And Melissa Benoist from however you say her last name from
Yeah.
Supergirl plays Chronic. But he plays Blunt Man, who Silent Bob doesn't have any lines.
Mm-hmm.
And there is actually a fun story behind that, which is that Val Kilmer was recovering from throat surgery.
Okay.
And so they'd reached out to him about making a cameo in the movie, and he was like, he would love to, but he can't talk. Like his throat's messed up. He goes,
Yeah.
I have the perfect role. Like this is perfect. And so that kind of thing. There's also Kev does a good job of like laying in some jokes that really pay off later.
Yeah.
He does like this is probably one of his better jokes.
Jay in the 21st Century is one of my favorite ongoing jokes. Or not Jay, Bob.
Bob in the 21st century. Yeah. One of my favorite jokes is Millie and her friends like celebrity crush that shows up later. Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah.
But they do a good job of like pulling in a bunch of characters and disparate storylines.
Which he also talked about, like Affleck inspired him to rewrite the end of the movie.
Yeah, no, it's not the
turn.
end of the movie; it's the turn.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to retell the story. Like if you go listen to fucking Hollywood Babylon or Smodcast or anything like that, he tells the story of how Affleck got on the movie.
Yeah.
And he basically was going to have him do something else, and then he wrote this speech in a fever pitch overnight.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
And the story of him getting Affleck
it's fantastic.
yeah. But also you have Affleck reuniting with the crew.
Well, yeah, and then the fact that they're friends again.
Yeah.
Like that's been a big like point, which actually I can 100% say with absolute certainty, the reason they stopped hanging out was because of Jennifer Garner.
Okay.
Kev was in Catch and Release with Jennifer.
Yeah.
She hated him.
I thought it was a different reason from the story he told.
Mm-hmm.
Jay.
Oh, no, that
just happened.
That just happened.
Timeline.
Yeah. No, Jennifer Garner hated Kev. They were in the movie together, in Catch and Release together, and then she and Affleck started dating, and then all of a sudden Kev stopped getting calls or hearing from his friend.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, and then people were not allowed to, it was the, yeah, your friend, I don't really like him. They shouldn't come over anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. And
Affleck made the wrong choice there.
yeah, well, and then they're divorced now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I enjoyed Reboot. If you are a Jay and Silent Bob if you're a Jay and Silent Bob fan, you will enjoy Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
The more you know of that universe, the funnier it gets.
Yeah. If you are a person who's never seen any of those movies, don't watch it.
If you've only
It's not
seen
for you.
like one of them,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a rough time.
Yeah, it's gonna
Because I'm willing to bet I know which one you've probably seen.
Chasing Amy
Either Chasing Amy or Dogma.
or Dogma. Yeah.
Oh. Or Jack and Mira make a porno.
Zack and Mary.
Zack and Mira make a
But that's not technically in the Views
True,
universe.
but I mean, it's referenced in. Well, I guess even that and.
Well, Brandon St. Randy is in this, but
Yeah.
another big part of why they don't name him is because Kev doesn't own those characters.
That movie's referenced as is Jersey Girl.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not part of the Views universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, they do it they do a good job with it. I also saw Jumanji last night.
You did.
Yes.
I'm going to see it tonight
You're going to see it tonight?
at 9:45 at the Science Center.
Oh, nice. Going to the IMAX.
Yeah,
Nice.
because of my connections and hookups.
Totally.
Yeah.
I will not be.
Also because it just sounds. I'm excited to go that late.
It will be very fun for you.
Yes.
In that too. And that's a good place to see it.
Also because at that point I might still be running off 2.5 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and working.
Not a caffeine.
And you're going to work too.
I am.
Woo. I mean, they do it. It's fun. It's really fun. I will tell you, it is really, really fun.
Good.
It is hard to say anything without giving away some major spoilers.
I mean, from the trailers, I'm really looking forward to
Danny DeVito, The Rock.
The Rock and Kevin Hart's performances.
Yeah. So,
And from the trailer, I also feel like there's more body switching going on in the game.
here's the thing: is at first you're The Rock being, honestly, Danny DeVito. So The Rock being Danny DeVito is pretty entertaining. Kevin Hart's performance of Danny Glover is fucking hilarious.
Those are like the two one I'm most excited for. I also realized the trailer seems like there's other
The
things
one
to-
who steals the show is Aquafina.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The water company?
No, the actor. You know who I'm talking about. Fuck. She stole the show in Crazy Rich Asians. She stole every scene she was in Ocean's 8. Yeah, it's in this too. And every scene that she's in, I could not stop laughing.
I will look forward to it.
It is funnier than hell.
Yeah.
It's Jumanji again, but the one thing that I was that kind of threw me off was the bad guy walks out and I was like, is that the fucking Hound? And it is.
Yeah. I also realized something about movies like this is we give actor nominations to these deep emotional roles.
Yeah.
But then you have The Rock playing Danny DeVito.
There's a
and
lot
that
of
seems far more
a lot of the golden. So that's what the Golden Globe comedy category is supposed to be for.
Yeah.
Like the musical or comedy category.
Yeah.
Because that's not in the Oscars, but that's what the Golden Globe category is supposed to be for. It's not always that, but that's what it's supposed to be for.
But the downside is not take away from this movie at all because it's a great movie, but then they always seem to nominate movies more like Big Sick
Yeah.
rather than Jumanji 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's
they go for the
this
emotional comedy.
Yeah. Well, this one actually has a couple moments.
All right.
But
I'm
it's
still not expecting any Golden Globe nominations for it.
no. Well, considering they came out already and there isn't any,
Yeah.
that's a safe bet.
I
I would take that bet.
Yeah. I just love the idea of someone winning best actor or best supporting actor for something like fucking Jumanji.
There used to be some people used to
3.
people used to win comedy
Yeah.
supporting actor roles all the time. But not so much anymore. What was it? I think didn't Melissa McCarthy get nominated for Bridesmaids
Maybe.
for a supporting actor role?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did. And that was a big deal.
Yeah, because now you have shit like this, Oscar grabs like, is it Buddy Jewel?
Oh, Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I told you, we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
I hate this time of year because it's all like the Oscar grab movies. And thankfully, we've been in a year. I was actually looking at like my best of and worst of movies for the year. Last year, the lists were even in numbers.
Yeah.
And, I leave off things. I obviously don't say every movie is a best, goes on the best or worst. Some of them just don't.
Like right now, Underground, 6 Underground, 6 Underground, Underground 6, whatever.
Yeah.
Is not on your best or worst list.
No.
You haven't seen it though either.
Yeah, but even the ones that I have seen, like I'll be honest, Jumanji is not going on either list.
That's fair.
Yeah. Neither is Jay and Silent Bob Reboot.
Yeah.
But like, I was looking at last year's list of like worst movies that I put together. There are far more bad movies last year than this year.
I mean, there's been a couple bad ones this year.
Oh no, there's still bad movies this year, but the amount of them was higher last year.
That's fair. Because I was trying to move. So I was trying movies after the show I went to last night because I didn't go to Jumanji. I went to an improvised Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Which I've done a couple years now with a group of friends, and it's always a fun, raucous time.
Yes.
One of their, they have basically it's kind of a, with audience involvement, it's kind of a Mad Libs situation.
Yeah.
So I get a bunch of suggestions at the beginning.
Yeah.
One of my favorite ones every year is the question they ask, and I will ask you this question to see your answer. What is an effective way to get rid of your trash?
Incinerator.
The answer that was given this year was throwing it away in the dumpster behind the mall.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about this question is when they get to Christmas Future, that's how they dispose of Tiny Tim.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, I went to Enchant on Thursday.
Yeah.
Which was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Which is the what? Like
the light
show
thing.
thingy?
Yeah. Their holiday cheer alcoholic drink, the one that comes in the light bulb.
Yeah.
Which, it was a little bit weak in terms of alcohol, which is not surprising. However, the drink itself tasted like, those like squeezer like juice things that you twist the top off of. It tasted like that, but with vodka in it. But we were sitting in like the little like bar area, and they had like a DJ playing Christmas music. Hip hop remix of Tiny Tim and Kermit and Bob Cratchit's song.
Oh,
the 'tis the season to be jolly and joyous.
You really got my hopes up for a second, because Tiny Tim is also the name of the artist who did Tiptoe
through the tulips. Yeah, no, not that one.
Okay,
God, no.
that'd be even more
Muppet
amazing.
Christmas. There was a DJ like hip hop remix of the Muppet Christmas Carol, Tiny Tim and Bob Cratchit song. I was sitting there. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
We ended up at GameWorks last night afterwards for drinks.
Yeah,
and I got a peppermint martini.
Gross.
And Jingle Juice.
Gross.
Jingle Juice is basically jungle juice with cranberries.
Santa jizz.
No, it's
Elf jizz.
It's jungle. No, that'd be close to the peppermint martini. More creamy and. Jingle Juice is literally just jungle juice with cranberries in it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Gotta love Christmas time.
Yeah. I mean, there was 5. The entertainment prize, there's 5 of us at the bar. There is a cider, a water, a beer, gin and soda.
And you
and me
with your fucking sugar drinks,
which I did get praise for. You know what? I'm at least gonna have fun with my drinks.
So yeah, we went to the nicer theater last night.
Yeah,
that has like they serve like dinner and drinks and stuff like that. The person I went with, she got cider.
Yep.
She got the seasonal cider, like the bigger one. And it was the shilling cider.
Okay,
which is good.
Yeah.
The shilling chai cider, it's really good. But she got that, and I got a fucking Long Island iced tea.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it was a raspberry one. I wanted it. Yeah. Occasionally, I like sugary drinks. Not always, but occasionally I do.
I don't know if it's necessarily get sugary drinks. I tend, especially if there's a holiday menu or a seasonal menu.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just got there was one. It was a raspberry Long Island iced tea. I fucking wanted that. It sounded good. So I ordered it, and we ordered the cider, and The person, when they brought out our drinks, the person who took our order was not the person who brought out the drinks.
Yeah.
And so when they brought out the drinks, they brought her cider first, and they tried to give the cider to me. And so I put it over like in her thing. And then they came out, like another person came out a couple minutes later with the Long Island and attempted to give the Long Island to her, even though she very clearly has a cider and I have nothing.
I have the same problem I go drinking with Ashley.
It was, yeah, they gave her, tried to give her like the fruity cocktail drink, and they were going to assume that I had the thing that looked like a beer.
Because Ashley and I go out drinking, and it'll be, the order will be a whiskey and something teeny or like a Mai Tai.
Yeah.
Assumptions are almost always made.
Yeah. You're the one with the fucking fruity umbrella drink.
Yes.
And Ashley's the one with the whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that assumption was made last night twice.
Love it.
It was very entertaining.
The best part is that they assumed it even though she had a drink.
That was the better part. She like had the drink in front of her, like was sitting there with the drink. And they still like looked at her and like tried to give her the glass. And I was just like, just give me it. And I took it from them. But yeah, no, Jumanji is a lot of fun. It's hard to get into a discussion of it without you having seen it.
And I will go tonight. Late.
I enjoyed it. It was thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah.
Aquafina steals the show.
I have optimism. I'm going to a 9:45 showing at the Science Center.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a large crowd.
No. Yeah. You might be one of like 10 people there.
Oh, and I know Emily's working tonight, which just makes it even more fun.
Yeah. That being said,
we're at our hour.
We're at our hour. I'm just going to say this right now. So we're getting near the end of the year. As per usual,
I'm not ready for this.
We will be taking a week off.
Do we get to pick which one?
I'm assuming we're going to be taking the week between Christmas and New Year's off.
That's usually how it works out.
Yeah. And
so there will not be a podcast on the 29th.
Correct.
Which means... Do you want to do the 15th or the 22nd? Well, let's do the 5th.
Let's do the 21st. Like today's the 14th.
Or sorry, I'm looking at release dates, not record dates.
Yeah, next week is let's do next week as our end of year lists.
All right. And our Star Wars review.
Yeah, and our Star Wars review.
All right.
Yeah. So have your list ready, man.
I mean, the nice thing about that is I don't think we have any other movies scheduled the rest of the year after that.
Nope. Yep.
So there's no carryovers to next year.
Correct. Yeah. No, it's
Was there a carryover from this year?
I don't know.
We had 2 movies. I think we might have had. I don't remember what exactly released. I think we had 2 movies after our
list last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are 2 movies that are potential for your list this year. That means.
Yep.
They are Mary Poppins and Aquaman.
Oh right. Yeah.
Does that affect your list?
Nope. I was looking at my list of movies and albums so far because I've been good about like writing it down.
Yeah.
And if and moving things around and stuff like that. And I was looking at it, I was like, that came out this year? Jesus Christ, it's been a fucking forever year.
There is a 2-week period where one movie and the movie right after are potentially on my list for my worst movie of the year.
And then your best?
No. They're competing for bottom of the rung.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so we're going to get into that next week.
Yep. And they're both continuations of franchises that maybe shouldn't have been continued anymore.
Probably. That being said.
Yeah, is it?
Yep, that's it for this week.
All right.
All right.
Bye, kids.
Bye, kids.